Ballistics is the study or science that has to do with the behavior or effect of projectiles, such as bullets. While using ballistics, investigators can narrow down size and caliber of the rounds and molds used to make the rounds. They can track shell casings even back to the registered guns. And here are some guns. The first one we have here is the 22 long range. It's a very small caliber. Next up is the 9mm handgun, pretty accurate round. Moving on, we have the 223 rifle, commonly used in many law enforcement situations. And then onto the 7.62, which is seen action in Vietnam and Korea. And finally onto the shells, we have the 12 gauge with scope and 12 gauge without scope. And then the Mac Daddy of them all, the 50 cal muzzle loader.
Okay, before we can get to shooting, I want to talk to you about a gun, how it works, so you know how it works. And we're going to be going quick because I don't want to blow the crap out of you. So, first of all, guns have four main components. Four main components are trigger, hammer, firing pin, and then shell, and what you're shooting, bullet. So, first of all, you have the trigger. Trigger mechanism houses the trigger, which in turn makes the hammer go. And trigger housing also has the safety, which is good because if you don't want to shoot a gun, you put the safety on, and then it won't shoot, so you won't kill anybody by accident. And then that's what that houses, and then that would be attached to the hammer by a spring, and once you pull the trigger, makes the hammer go, and the hammer hits the firing pin in rifles and shotguns, and then the firing pin hits the, here's the firing pin housing here. I don't want to take it out because it's hard to get back in, so. But if I was field shooting, I would. But and then that hits the primer or the head on the shotgun shell or bullet, which sparks in there and lights the primer, and then that lights the whole thing. And yeah, so those are the three like big components. And then of course you have. Let's put this back in real quick. There we go. Then of course you have the barrel, which the rounds go down. Some barrels are rifled. Some barrels are rifled like hunting barrels and you know regular barrels because that's for like better accuracy, and that's what a lot of ballistics is about. They look for the rifling. The rifling leaves a marks on the bullets, so they look at that and they can track it back to like a specific gun even. But mine's smooth bore for a shotgun, so you can see that's smooth up in there. Smooth bore because my shotgun, of course, well, I mean, you can shoot single projectiles, but I shoot many little projectiles out of bird shot for hunting. So that's pretty much it. And then the only other thing that is pretty important is the magazine. Most guns it like comes out here, and you just, and then but in a shotgun it's this tube here. It runs along the bottom, and you load the rounds in. See, I'm putting a cap on it. Load the rounds in the bottom into the tube, and that's the magazine. But that's pretty much the field strip and how a gun works. One in the chamber.
So first up here we have the 22 caliber long range rounds. The ballistic effect of this is not too powerful, so we're going to be hitting that pair to the right. And here we go.
We'll do two cuts. Huh? Better. Did you miss? So comfy. That was out. That's a good shot. Yeah, that definitely. Hopefully got that.
Alright, so right here we have the 9mm. It's a standard police issue firearm for most agencies. It's got a pretty good kick on it, but not too bad. And it's going to be a bit better than the 22.
That right bottom.
Alright, so this is the 7.62 by 39 round. This is the SKS itself. It's actually based off of the Russian AK-47 model. It's semi-automatic and was used in the Vietnam-Korea conflict. So, let's do this.
Woo! Isn't that's the coolest sound, that thing?
Hang on.
Oh, now Okay, here we have a Remington 870 shotgun, commonly used with law enforcement and even the military too. They use this. It's just an overall nice gun. It always fires. Right now I'm loading these 2.5 inch, they're called shells. They're full shot for shotguns. They have a bunch of little BBs. It's for, well, mainly used for self-protection and hunting and things like that. So. That's it. Gotta get ready? Clay pigeon. Another.
So this right here, we have the 870 again, except this time we're going to be shooting slugs. They're much larger than a BB. They're a single round, and they're much better for long range.
Alright, going back to the past now, here we have a 50 caliber muzzle loader. That's what they used to use back in, even as recent as the Civil War. They used to use them. The muskets, it's not the same as a musket. Muskets are of course longer for better accuracy, but first of all you need powder. So you get your powder and you measure it out. Put that down the barrel first. Okay, then you get your ramrod and you pack it in to make a tight seal. Then, I'll keep that out. Then you have your ball, your patch. Put the patch on top there. And this is sealing the gap in the barrel so it has enough compression to propel the projectile out. Gotta make sure that gets in there. It's hard. Judah, like this. Gotta make it tight.
It's not down all the way.
It is.
No, it's not.
Oh, difficulties.
All right, well, as you can see here, we just broke the ramrod.
This is what some of the guys must have
Had to go through.
experienced. So that's the problem with these old guns. They're crap.